girl, hey!
Hey, Miss Mims, how are you? Did you drink before this?
I wish.
I was very excited. I was like, wait, guys, I figured you'd be more fatigued after having all your laundry to do.
I know, right? Like all of my laundry. All of my. So much laundry.
You made it sound like it was a mountain of laundry, so
It was. It was. It
oh, okay.
still is. It's a never ending.
That's called being an adult, dear. Being an
Well,
adult.
let me tell you a story of. Dear listeners, we would like to apologize for last week.
Wait. Yeah, last week was a week.
So I have a hole in my ceiling, dear Liza, dear Liza. Apparently, back in the day, I live in a townhome that was built in the Lord's year of 1980. Good year.
1980. That's so weird because my house was built in 1981.
Well, this house happens to be the same age as me, so you see, it's
Mine's not.
it's an exennial, just like I am. And like an exennial, it perspires in the summer. So apparently, the dear sweet old lady who lived here before me, changed before she put the house on the market. She changed her like air conditioning system. Very good, nice, expensive air conditioning system. I love it. However, she didn't change any of the ductwork.
Oh.
So it is still the real cheap stuff from the 80s that's leaking everywhere. So I have this water leak. That has just destroyed part of my ceiling.
Oh, God. What? What are you talking about right now?
So when cold air hits hot air and moisture, there's condensation that forms.
I know
And
how the science works. That's not that. I just can't believe this has been happening. Is this
so
every year? Every summer this happens?
it happened the first summer. And then I looked up there in the winter and like had a contractor look up there. He's like, I don't see a leak. It was probably something that was from that she just didn't fix, that she just didn't know about. You could just seal it up. So spent some money to seal it up. So then I was like, it happened again, and then I was like, oh, well, you know me, I can cut it into the ceiling and look at it. My husband's not been very happy with me for this. So I cut into the ceiling and looked at it. And I looked at it, and it's still doing it. So then I was like, I had the brilliant idea of putting some of that, cheap insulation that basically they sell rolls of the stuff that's like for cars to reflect the light. It actually works as decent insulation, okay? You can put it in your attic very cheaply, install it very cheaply. Highly recommend. So I cut off a square of that and put it up there, and I was like, "Oh, good. This is gonna like protect it. This is gonna like catch the water, and we aren't gonna have any more problems." Girl, we had more problems. So,
Oh no. What in the world?
oh my God, my gain is all the way up. So let me turn my gain. Why is my gain so far up? Good Lord, y'all gonna think I'm screaming at you. There, that's probably better. So
That's why I gently put my microphone away every time and don't touch anything.
well, my husband was using it to record some music, so that's probably what happened.
Fine.
I know artists. So I then was like, okay. Well, so I brought out a contractor. I'm actually going to get it fixed. But I was like, in the meantime, I have to do something about this. So I got some water seal tape and some duct tape, and I tried to seal this shit. Not well. The next time, after it had already halfway come down, and my husband looked at it, he's like, I was just gonna take it down, but I wanted you to see how disgraceful it was. Because
Oh,
girl. Oh, it gets worse. We also live in a slightly wooded area. So slightly wooded areas in moist, wet North Carolina get the big ass cockroaches sometimes in the house. Like,
yes.
dear listeners, they are huge American wood cockroaches. They don't want to be in your house any more than you. They want to be outside eating dead plant matter. But one was caught in the tape I'd put up there, and like and had ripped off like 3 of its legs.
Oh no! I would not be okay with that.
So I just was like, well, this is a disgrace. Ripped the whole thing down, rubbed it up into one huge ball, threw it away, and didn't even think about it anymore.
Oh wow, I would not be okay. I actually one of those beautiful bugs one time ended up in a shoe of mine overnight. So when I put on the shoe, I was like, what is this? And you already know how I am about bugs to begin with. So I was like, what is this? I thought it was a rock. So I like took my shoe, I could, did the little like pat, and this giant thing comes out, and I thought I was going to have an actual heart attack. If I hadn't been 17 years old, I probably would have had an actual heart attack because, oh my gosh, it's not right.
I was staying at a hotel in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, and I was using the restroom as you do, taking a toozy, if you would.
Mm-hmm.
And taking a toozy, and I looked at in South Carolina at the beach. They're called palmetto bugs. Palmetto bugs are like roaches you can put leashes on.
Yes.
Girl, Mama Palmetto Bug came out of a crack in the wall, looked at me, and I just looked down at her in a compromised situation. It was like, girl, if you just go back in that wall for 5 minutes, I promise you could have this bathroom to yourself. She looked at me straight in the eye, went back in the wall, and I was like, thank you, girl.
Oh, man. Obviously down here in South Florida, we got a whole other problems, but
racism?
That is not one thing. We had that backup. We had that backup there too, dear.
Voter suppression. Which
had that up there too. I will say though, like because we have so many more lizards, I guess we don't have as bad an insect problem. But every once in a while, every once in a while, those little buggers will make their way into like the bathroom or something like that, and I am just not okay. It's just not.
I am crazy, and you probably think I'm crazy. Because I don't, other than that, I don't kill house spiders.
Me neither.
Because they kill mosquitoes.
I don't either.
I'm like, girl, you up there in the corner, you fine. What are you going to do?
I don't either. I back in my old house, now that you said that, this house doesn't have a lot of spiders in it. But in my other house, in the bedroom, they liked that room, and somehow they got into it like a lot. And I would just like leave them. I'm like, whatever, you know. Yeah. So
if it's a brown recluse or a black widow, bitch, you getting out of my house. But like a little house
Black Widow, babe. Did you see Black Widow?
No.
Okay, me neither.
I've quit trying with Marvel movies.
Okay, hold on. I will say I'm excited about the future movies after Loki because I thought that was very good.
Okay.
But yes, I was not. I'm in the same boat. I'm kind of like,
I enjoyed WandaVision until the end.
Yeah, I liked WandaVision. I was like, oh, okay, you guys are really playing around some cool ideas here, some cool concepts, like all that stuff.
Until the end, I'm like, you just marveled right on over it. Why can't you just like have a good thought once? Don't. Just.
Did you just use Marvel as a verb?
I did.
Not a good verb either.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
You just marveled right over it. Ugh.
Like, have Wanda actually suffer for her sins. Like,
I don't. To this day, I don't. I've like when that ended. I was kind of like. I mean, it was whatever, right? It's superheroes.
Yeah.
I get it, right?
Yeah.
I've been reading comic books my whole life. However, like this was a pretty major kind of like revelation of some really terrible things that happened.
Yes.
And it was just like, bye, Wanda, bye. Right? It's like, hey, you ruined our lives, our brains, our town, probably forever, but bye, Wanda.
Yeah, like exactly. Like, okay, and Catherine Hahn, you forced her to be that character for like, oh, it's a waste of Catherine Hahn too. I hope that she gets a redemption in some other Marvel movies or something.
Yeah, they said she's coming back. I would not be surprised if she does not show up in that multiverse of madness. I'm very excited about it. Just FYI, that's going to be a wonky, crazy movie because it's being directed by Sam Raimi of all people,
God.
and they're wanting it to be basically like the scariest thing that's ever happened in the Marvel universe, which made me kind of sad because I was like, oh wait, does that mean you guys aren't going to ever do Marvel Zombies? Because that would have been magnificent.
So my husband had a good point about Marvel. He was like,
do they have those?
Yes, well, kind of. It's not good, but it was a good point. He was like, back in the 90s, if what's the name of the director who just won the Oscar for Nomadland? For Nomadland. Chloe, yeah. He was like, if Chloe, a up and coming young Asian American woman, had won an Oscar in the 90s, studios would have thrown money at her to do whatever she wanted. Now she gets to do a Marvel movie, the Asian one. I was like, oh, that's true. That's sad.
Wait, she's not doing the Asian one. She's doing the Eternals.
I thought, didn't she just do the one? Are you sure?
No, that's a different director. She's doing the Eternals.
Whatever that is.
That's the one with Angelina Jolie.
Oh God, what? We brought her corpse back up to act.
Yeah, Angelina. Who's in that one? Angelina Jolie and the guy from that. What's that movie called? The one from The Big Sick, the Indian comedian.
Oh yeah.
Camille Nanjiani.
Where he swore he wasn't on steroids.
Yeah, Richard Baker's in that one. Richard Baker, not the lovely Richard Baker.
Baker is.
He's a British actor.
Okay.
No, yeah, but it's supposed to be like
Speaking of British comedies, before we get into this episode, did you ever watch Dairy Girls?
No, I haven't.
You've never watched Dairy Girls?
No, I seen it pop. I didn't know what that was. Like, it just pops up on my Netflix, but like, it was never a preview or anything. I just see a picture of it.
Dear listeners, I am muppeting out over here. My arms over my head. Actually. I look like Kermit going. You do going off the screen. No, Dairy Girls is about.
Yay!
Woo! Dairy Girls is about 4 young girls and a guy who attend an all-female high school in Derry, Ireland during the Troubles. It is hilarious. Yes.
Okay.
It is. So you watched the last season of the Great the Pottery Show, right?
Yeah.
The woman they replaced the hostess with.
Yes.
The Irish lady. Yes. She's the head nun of the school.
Oh.
Oh yeah. Yeah. It's hilarious.
Okay.
If you ever wondered what my brand of Catholicism is, it's that nun. You watch it, you'll know. So
I'm very excited. Now I'm excited about it.
They're only like 25 minutes a pop. So
yeah,
just sit down, try the first one. If for some reason you don't like it, we're no longer friends.
Wow. Whoa.
Because it means I never knew you at all.
36 years, and you're just going to throw it away over that? There are so many worse things you can throw it away over. So many.
Well, Like, one of the things I could throw it away over is you making me watch this next episode. You ready to get into it?
You better stop it. This episode was not that bad.
It
has one of my favorite scenes that ever happened on this show.
Are you sure you aren't confusing episodes?
The Nashville one, right?
Yeah, okay. Y'all, this is episode 17. Nashville Bound.
I'm Julia Sugarbakers. I'm Julia Sugarbakers. I'm Julia Sugarbakers. I'm Julia Sugarbakers. And that's Marjorie. Just so you will know, and your children will someday know, is the night the lights went out in Georgia. The lights went out, the lights went out, the lights went out, the lights went out. And that is the night the lights went out in Georgia.
I'm sorry, I didn't know.
Well, now you do.
I like that you're like, are you sure we're talking about the same episode? I'm like, yeah, this is. I didn't say it was my favorite episode. I said it had one of my favorite moments of the series. So we're just gonna put that out there. Okay, Ray Charles. All right. So, honey, have you seen the invoice for Bonnie Walper's account?
What? That is a starting line.
That is the first line of this thing. That's the very first line. I thought it was great. I thought that name was great, Bonnie Walpers. I thought that was a great name.
It is a very Southern, like, fake last name, isn't it? It just feels like that person has money, like
Bonnie Walpers,
and that old money too.
Oh yeah, no, that's that real like Walpers money. Like that's the kind of thing where you're walking down the street, you're like, honey, that's the old Walpers home. You don't want to go up there though, because Mrs. Walper, she ain't been the same ever since the troubles happened to her.
You know, Mr. Walper, he had some health issues a while back, but
I heard that.
But thank the Lord, he's fine now.
Oh, that's good. I was praying for him because I was really hoping that they were going to have their Christmas party again this year.
They are. They're getting their house redone by Sugarbakers.
Not Sugarbakers. I heard
Sugarbakers.
I heard they're expensive, girl.
Well, you know, they also did that whorehouse.
Oh, yeah. My uncle, Leon, he loves that place. But you know what? We don't judge because our family, we don't judge folks like that. We're not
Charlene's family's coming.
Oh my god! Really? Charlene's family's coming? Not like her parents or like
all of them.
Wait, what? What do you mean all of them?
I mean all of them.
Like the sisters and the brothers and the spouses and the kids?
Yes, all of them.
Wow, that's like 27 people I would guesstimate.
As apparently they're coming up for a Baptist convention.
Girl, let me tell you what. Talk about triggered. I was like, oh, I haven't heard those two words in so very long. Oh,
God.
The Southern, what was it? The Baptist, we used to go to the Baptist State Convention every year. Remember every year, like the day after my birthday, I'd always have to go to the Martin Luther King Jr. banquet in Winston-Salem. The whole church would dress up to the nines. Oh, it's the best thing ever. I thought I was the fanciest little like belle of the ball. Just walking around the hallways like I was something special. Oh, there was always some lady there that sang a gospel hymn, but she did it in a more operatic tone, which was very strange. And it used to make myself and my mother laugh hysterically. It was a thing. So, okay. So dear listeners,
you keep on going, girl. I'm liking this.
Dear listeners, I have to preface this, right? Because so you don't think myself and my mother are awful people. So we used to have this weird thing where there was something about a person that was singing in a I guess you would call it like a false operatic style, but like we could tell right? And like my mom, she's like super cultured. She used to live in New York, blah, 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 right? So we could kind of tell when a person's kind of like doing false vibrato and all of it. There was something about it that made us giggle every time. Like we'd see it on TV.
I've got a
every
question
time
for you. How did you not laugh after a certain someone who we went to high school with would do that at karaoke every time to the song My Way? I hope he's not listening to this right now, but
we already know he's not listening to this. Number two, I was laughing. You weren't paying attention to me.
Why did everybody think I was the asshole? Because I laughed.
Well, you are the asshole.
Oh, you're right.
So yeah, so this one, so at the Baptist convention every year, right? This one particular year, I'll never forget it as long as I live. Yeah, I can't remember what she was singing, but like it was like a little mist started spraying over me, and I was just sitting there like trying my best to hold it in, and I was not doing a good job. And so it was, like sometimes when you see a person giggling, it starts becoming infectious. So a few of the deacons saw my face, and then they started giggling, and then it started spreading to the point that my mom sent me out of the hall. She's like, go out, go. I was like, I'm sorry. It's literally, I got sent out in the middle of this lady's song because I just couldn't help myself. It was just like, and you know me, I'm like, we normally laugh at this. Why can't we laugh at it now? But I didn't understand protocol.
No, you were right at the time, and I forgive you. Well, Suzanne,
so all that to say that her family's here for the Baptist convention,
and Suzanne calls it a hillbilly holiday.
You can tell that's a funny line because even though I wrote it down myself, I still almost spit out my tea when you said that just now. Oh, jeez. So my favorite part of this was when Suzanne said, "I'm not having a bunch of hillbillies pitching tents on my lawn." I was like, what is wrong with you, woman? Like, what is wrong with you?
And of course, there's a Deliverance reference in there because there has to be.
If you say back in the 80s, you could not say hillbilly without saying the word Deliverance.
So I did look it up, and Poplar Bluff is a real city in Missouri.
Yeah.
In the Ozarks.
Yeah. I remember. I didn't know about Poplar Bluff, but I knew about the other bluff. No, what was it? Not Poplar Bluff, but what was the other one? Jupiter. Do you remember what movie the Jupiter Hollow is from?
No.
That was Bette Midler and Lily Tomlin's Big Business, where they play the two sets of twin sisters. Yeah.
Yes.
And I was like, oh, every time I hear Poplar Bluff, my brain immediately jumps at Jupiter Hollow, and I start thinking about that movie.
So now we need to get into a little bit of a sidebar. Not that we already have it. We're a minute and a half into this episode. We've already done a couple. But is Missouri a southern state?
So that's actually a very good question. So technically, if we're going by regions, right, Missouri is more part of the Rust Belt than a southern state.
Okay.
So although Rust Belt states are very similar to southern states, they are not technically the same as southern states because southern states, for the most part, represent a very specific region of the country.
I will agree with you, except I will throw out they had slaves. They were not a free state.
Well, I mean, that ain't me. Do you know how many places probably had slaves and they didn't tell nobody about it? There's probably been plenty of them.
Florida still does.
Thank you.
Look up the Hispanic Farm Work Organization.
We know all about it down here. What are you talking about? Come on now, Southern state. Come on. We got the slave owning states, and then we got the DL slave owning states.
Charlene has news.
What kind of news? Oh, that her family's coming. Yeah, we knew that already.
No, there's something else.
What?
She was found.
Was she lost? I don't understand. What do you mean?
By Galen King.
I I'm gonna try to not giggle every time we have to say that out loud. By the way, I giggled very hard. Who's Galen King?
He's a big time Nashville country person finder thing.
And he's named Galen.
Galen.
Okay, that sounds believable. So wait, so like, who is this guy? Like, is he like?
So Galen, that is a believable name, because a lot of people in the South who claim to have Scots-Irish heritage will use those names sometimes to name their children.
Really? I did not know that. I had no idea.
Like,
that's news to me.
Yeah, I know. And those Scots-Irish people are typically just, Brits or, like some just Germans or something. There's not that much Scottish or Irish in them. Like,
I feel like, man, could you imagine how harsh the name Galen would be with a German accent?
Galen.
Oof. Galen. Galen.
Oh,
like,
let's use the Google machine. See what Galen is in German.
There's the Google machine. Google machine, showing us all our hopes and dreams. Google machine, let's see what you really mean.
It's Galen. Gehln,
Okay.
but it's usually a last name.
Oh, okay. That's kind of like, it's so funny. Like, sometimes people have weird like last names that they invert it. Like, did you know that my actual name is somebody's last name, the person I was named for?
Lamont?
No. My last name and first name. Oh my God, I hate you. It's almost like you just wanted to put that out there on the airwaves. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, and everything else in between. My middle name is Lamont.
And that you would not have to know a single first or last name, just that.
That's it. That's all you got to do. Although I will say,
why was your drag name not Lamontica?
Not Lamontica. Well, do you know it's funny though? So funny thing about that. So when I first started doing stand up, right? I had actually toyed around with, and I'm still actually toying around with, if I ever want to do things as boy, like out of drag, I go by Uncle Monty.
Okay. He sounds like a perv.
I go by Uncle Monty.
My sexually repressed drag queen friend goes
Hate you.
So Anthony enters. Girl, we are already 30 minutes into this podcast. We aren't even a third of the way into this thing.
I thought we were going to be more efficient this time. What happened?
Well, we decided to only record one instead of two today.
Oh, that's true.
I've got.
I love that this was one of my favorites, right? So, what's his name? Wendell Mack. This guy, this actor, like, he was really a popular kind of like character actor back then.
Was he actually an actor? I thought he was an actual NFL player.
No, he's an actual actor. He used to show up in like a lot of like, he'd always be in like a lot of like gym related kind of things. Like, I remember,
I swear he was
he was a real football player. I didn't think he was. I remember that he used to be on. Do you remember that HBO show First and 10?
No.
That was like no. Okay. It was one of HBO's very first series. They were trying to be that was like early 80s. Wow. I didn't even think about that. They could easily reboot that show at this point into like talking about the modern football. Oh wait, I guess they do. I guess that's what Ballers is technically. I guess Ballers is kind of like First and 10. But no, I love it. Like, this was really great. So Anthony, for those who haven't watched the episode yet, while Miss Mims is doing her thing. So Wendell Mack is
hold on, I have to say something very important that Auntie Maim will like to hear me say, because it doesn't happen very often. You're right.
Oh crap. let me go play the lotto right now.
I'm trying to become a better person, so I now admit when I'm wrong and someone else is right.
I have to go play the lotto. Excuse me, I have to go now.
If you want that ball of tape that's got that cockroach in it, I can mail that to you. Winner, chicken dinner. You get a ball of tape with a cockroach in it.
I have to. I think I have to go play the numbers now because I'm just not used to you saying that I'm right about something. Oh wow.
Anyway, Anthony enters, and a client answered the door naked. It's it's football player Wendell Mack's wife.
That sounds like trouble for Anthony.
I know. And then Julia goes on a tirade of how Charlene...
Man, does she go on this thing.
And Anthony always bring trouble on themselves. Like...
I thought as she was doing this thing, right? I literally thought to myself, I was like, or... You know, it could just be that you guys are on situational comedy, so these things have to happen in order to move the show along.
Also, did you notice how that they're the two poorest people and things happen to them? Okay. So the one thing out of the whole tirade list of things that happened to Charlie and Anthony, and I don't know if you caught this or not. Charlene was hijacked at the furniture market. Dear
Tonight
listeners, the furniture...
Tonight we danced. Yes, I wrote down that line.
The furniture market is held yearly in High Point, North Carolina.
High Point, North Carolina.
And it is the largest collection of furniture, high-end furniture in the world. Sellers from all over the world bring their samples there. People come all over. It's a huge deal. They built a resort nearby just for it, the Grove Park Resort.
Have you been to it?
No, I haven't. Have you?
Yeah.
They let black people in?
Wow. They thought I was carrying stuff in.
Okay.
Jeez. I had to sneak in. Girl. I know how to do these things. I had to sneak in.
Oh no, Wendell Mack just showed up.
Gosh, what is that guy? Anthony didn't even do anything with his wife. What does he want?
Well, he wants to know why Anthony didn't fuck his wife.
Oh, okay. I mean, well, this is awkward. Awkward part of life, I guess.
Yeah. Dear listeners, I apologize for throwing an F-bomb out there, but there's no other way to put it.
You just dropped that there like a bomb. I am sorry, Mother Maim, for that one.
It's nothing she has never heard before.
Oh, I know. I'm just saying. I'm sorry. But okay, so let me just say this, right? I like this part. I love actually this part of it because once again, we're trying our best to somehow kind of in a way be sort of sex positive, we don't treat Wendell Mack technically like that's not even the thing that they harped on when he was like, I do my thing, she does her thing. Right. I was like, all right, good on you, Wendell Mack. And nobody there was like, like they were for like the the brothel. It was
yeah.
That's true.
Also, we only have 25 minutes to do this whole thing. Can't be harping on everything.
Oh, that's true also, actually. And that's true. I forgot, we are very much like single story focused now. Like it's not a lot of like
two stories.
Well, I know it has two, but this one's like a branch, right? Like this is this is a very long story to get to that very funny thing that happens later on. That it's like one of my favorite things that happens on the show.
Well, Galen King comes in.
Oh, fancy.
He's a sleazeball.
Oh, man. That's the thing about Galen. You got to watch it. I mean, you just don't know anybody with that kind of name.
So they go through introductions. Charlene runs him around, and he comes to Suzanne, and my favorite line. Anyone ever tell you look like Vivian Lee? All the time. And just annoyed that he said it.
I think, you know what's sad though for us especially is that line is perfect. Almost no one under the age of 30 or even probably maybe 35 will be like, who? It's just
I have never seen that movie.
You shut your mouth. What are you talking about?
Do you know how long that movie is?
Yeah, that's why you watch it one time and then you've done your penance.
Penance. Great. My family, born into a slave state, I have to watch this as penance. Wouldn't reparations be better?
I mean, for who? So I used to. So another sidebar. My very first relationship was with a terrible person. One of the good parts about that relationship, though, was his kooky family, and one of them was obsessed with this movie. When I say obsessed, I mean posters and pictures and things like. This is a woman that was in her 50s. And so, every like 10 or 15 years, it's another anniversary milestone. So it got like re-released. And so they played it at this old movie theater in Greensboro. So of course she had to go. So like sitting in uncomfortable balcony seats, watching Gone with the Wind while this woman is crying and carrying on like she's never seen the movie before. I was both the most amazing and also the most troubling thing I've ever seen.
Everything I know about that movie, I got from the Carol Burnett show.
So, wow. Just, wow.
Saw it in the window and had to have it.
I can't. Like, I'm not upset with you for saying it, but wow. That's just, jeez.
Speaking of Carol Burnett, for some reason, unbeknownst to me, they have been replaying Annie on television.
Like that, the one with Carol Burnett?
Yeah. And do you know who's Danny Warbucks in that?
I feel like I know who it is. I just don't know who it. Like I know the actor. Yeah, I was like, I know the actor, but I don't remember who it is.
Watching it, because I was watching it for 5 minutes just to see. It was toward the end where Tim Curry and Bernadette Peters show up. So
the good part of the movie.
So there's still a lot of racism there. There's an Indian played by a Trinidadian. Well, I guess it's the East Indies. Or West Indies, whatever. But where was I going with this? Oh, we were just sitting there watching Albert Finney not be able to have the silliness he needs. Because I love him as an actor. But how much better would it have been Telly Savalas?
I thought, Telly Savalas. I also thought another fun. Oh man, Telly Savalas. Sorry, I just reminding me that he existed in our lifetime. It's just like, what who loves you, baby? Oh, Telly Savalas. I love Telly Savalas. Oh, Kojak.
Yeah.
I also thought another good one would have been Ned Beatty.
Oh yeah.
That would have been a nice, like, kind of a sillier version of Daddy Warbucks. I think that would have been a good one, too. You
know what they should do now? They should take Ray Fiennes and put him in the Voldemort makeup and make him Daddy Warbucks.
So.
I'm gonna need a minute. I'm tickled myself. Children.
We have so much to go on this episode.
Okay, so it's gonna cost Charlene $2,000.
$2,000 for what?
To get started with this.
I don't understand.
She's going to have to take classes. They're going to have to rent out the bar to get started. They're going to have to get some album time. They're going to have to do all this stuff to get started.
$2,000 sounds like a lot in
$2,000.
She's obviously not going to give it to them, right?
Of course she did.
Oh.
So next day we're at Sugar Baker's. Maryjo's talking about Charlene. And she's like one of those women who just doesn't know that she's pregnant, and up in one day, just boop, there it is. And then Charlene walks in with Galen. She's got
you know what?
New boots on.
Can we pause for a second and just for a moment?
We have so many times already.
No, just for a real quick second. Like, Maryjo completely predicted an entire reality show.
She did.
That's a real show.
Yeah, I know it
I
is.
didn't know I was like, how crazy is that? That she literally like spoke it into existence, right? Like she was like, yeah, that's like those crazy ladies that do this. And now we have it as a show.
I mean, I feel like they were already on Sally ! At the time.
Not exclamation point. Jeez. I hate you sometimes so much.
So Charlene walks in with some new boots because Galen gets a discount.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. And she's been buying him gifts.
What?
Yeah.
But why is she buying him gifts? What is happening?
Well, he needs to look nice too for the scouts that are going to be at the bar.
What? Are they scouting her manager? I don't understand.
I don't know. So they all ask, well, why do you do this? Why is this so important to you? Because my mama always wanted to sing, and she would sometimes get so tired of her kids, she would drive to the Grand Ole Opry
By herself.
Girl, I looked up how far it was from the
I knew you
Poplar
would.
Bluff to the Grand Ole Opry.
I knew you would.
And I couldn't find it because, interstates weren't a thing when she was doing this. So with interstates, it's 5 hours. Without interstates, that probably adds a good 2 hours onto it, right? Because you got to go with all these tiny little towns. So 7 hours. This woman disappeared for 7 hours each way. 14 disappeared for a day. Who was she sleeping with in Nashville is what I want to know. And how many of these children are actually her or Charlene's fathers?
I didn't think that. I totally understood this.
But I did think.
But at the same time, I was like, wait a minute. Like, well, here's the thing that was funny to me. Not funny, but kind of funny, right? Is that right after this, we're going to have another monologue from Charlene where I was trying to figure out if monologue 2 happened, how could her mother afford monologue 1? Because that's a lot of gas. That's not cheap. That kind of money to you remember back then, that's not that cheap.
No. So Charlene said, especially when you're in Poplar Bluff, living on farm, what does her family do? It's got to be a farm because he was wanting money for land, right?
Yeah, something like that.
Did they even farm in the Ozarks? I just thought they had trees and rocks.
Isn't that where they farm meth?
What? Farm what?
Meth? Isn't that where meth is farmed?
Well, yeah. Meth wasn't so much of a thing back there. Pressure cookers weren't as reliable. So Charlene does this sob story about her daddy not being able to get a loan because the children didn't have shoes on their feet. She looked down her brother's shoe and it had a newspaper wrapped up in one of the holes and Nixon resigns on it. Why are you taking your children with you to go get a loan? Why aren't you going through the federal government to get a loan for farmland?
Because that doesn't make for good copy or monologues.
I mean, it's not. The thing is, this is the 70s. Hold on.
Wait.
Go ahead.
What if Charlene had done it this way and said, the reason I am the way I am, my daddy had to spend many nights gathering documents to send to the farm board in order for them to give us a loan to extend the land on our farm. That would be not that's not as compelling.
It's a lot more believable than throwing this like 1930s story. This is post LBJ. Okay, look, these kids, we fixed some of this stuff under LBJ. We're starting to throw it back now. Thank you, Donald Trump. I apologize, but you know, LBJ fixed this stuff. Like fixed a lot of it. Yeah. This is post that. We're Nixon time now. Like. I don't get this 1930s story of
a lot of her stories are like that. Like a lot of her stories about her growing up make her sound like she's from the 1920s. You gonna be okay? You seem very affected by this part. Where I am really excited. Okay, I will say this. This was a very weird little thing. The next scene, because it was almost like they jumped immediately to the nighttime party, which I will say. Oh, I forgot. I will say this, right, based on something. So, dear listeners, I will say this to all of you. We love all of our listeners. However, one of our dear listeners sent us a message. They sent us a direct message on Instagram. Because as you all know, we like to joke a lot about these awkward ways that they break up the episodes. And our listener, Sharon, a.k.a. Sharon_Jewel on Instagram, she sent us a thing that says that the weird and awkward commercial transitions are actually caused by Hulu. And that not only when Hulu did the editing for it, but they actually edited some pieces of the episodes. And that's why they kind of flow so weirdly, because she has all of them on DVD. So the transitions are much smoother. So we appreciate you, Sharon, for pointing that out to us. So now we're just going to keep ragging on Hulu rather than the show.
I wonder, I was actually thinking about that. I'm wondering if some of these got cut when they moved to Lifetime. And that is the cut that Hulu bought as opposed to the actual CBS cut, which probably is the one that probably made the DVD.
That's a possibility.
Or USA.
You know, it's funny though, because I was not to test your theory, just because I was watching it. I was watching some anime on Hulu, as you do, well, as I do, and I noticed it on there too, right? There was like this weird kind of transition that I was like, oh wait, that must be kind of like what she was talking about. Like it's kind of like in a lot of their things. I think it's probably, I don't know, but I bet it's tied into them like preloading everything with like ad-based content. Yeah. And like it just makes it's just weird. So, but thank you, Sharon. Thank you so much for that really lovely message. She's a travel nurse. She was telling me. So she listens to us while she's traveling between places.
Oh,
so
wow.
I thought that was absolutely lovely.
That is fantastic. Thank you, Sharon.
I told her that. I said, you have no idea how much you say you're a travel nurse. I was like, you have like two of your biggest fans, because like the two of us, like our whole world revolves around this.
It's highly important. Thank you for keeping us healthy.
Yes.
Especially in this time of COVID.
Stay safe out there, bro. Stay safe out there, bro.
And I also read that she's very happy that we're a stand for vaccinations.
Oh, yeah. Please go get vaccinated.
Dear listeners, go get vaccinated. Get your children vaccinated.
Get your dog vaccinated.
Well, I mean, yes, but not for COVID. Yeah,
there are anti-vaxxers for animals as well too.
I know there are. I look. There's some really scary stuff happening, especially in like Tennessee, where for youth vaccinations are starting to take away money from like just general youth vaccines like polio and measles and that sort of stuff.
What?
And this does have some like. Okay, I'm gonna put down my paper. I'm going to go on another little tirade. This does have some sort of fascist feeling vibes, because when fascists see something wrong or don't like something, they can't just attack one. They have to attack all of it, right? So they couldn't
Right.
just attack the COVID vaccine. It's now all vaccines are bad. Yeah, it's not. I'm not saying that's what it is, right? I'm not saying that January 6th was one of the worst things that's ever happened to our country, but I am saying that.
It was.
So back to this. So all of the families come in. They're having 27 over for cocktails, which if you've ever met a Baptist, you know they drink just so much. Not at all.
By the way, I don't know if you caught there was like one moment in particular where they did like this cut to Anthony and he did not look comfortable at all.
So the family comes in, and my favorite line from that is when Maryjo goes, "It's like a Barbara Mandrell Christmas special."
That was everything to me. That was everything. I was like, oh my gosh.
Dear listeners,
my gosh.
Statesville, North Carolina, where we are from, nearly had Barbara Mandrell's answer to Dollywood. We would have had Mandrell land.
I am still bitter about that. We could have worked there for the summers.
It would have been right near my house too.
Oh my gosh, could you
on
imagine?
77 right there at Jane Sowers Road.
These two little Southern gays working at Mandrell World. Oh my gosh. Sorry, listeners. We're still bitter about that, as you can tell. Instead, we got a Walmart.
Yeah. So then it goes through a thing where they talk about Suzanne calling the dad a hillbilly. And
I like that. That was cool.
And he said, "I've been called worse." And then Anthony says, "So have I."
Oh man. It's just perfect.
And then Charlene goes through a very long introduction of every single one of the people and the children. It's fantastic. Like she does.
It's amazing.
This is mom and dad. Da, 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 my brothers. Da, 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 Odell. Da, 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 da.
Just keeps on going. It just goes and goes and goes and goes and goes.
Oh no. So wait. Hold on. I'm getting my shit together over here. Charlene's going off to the club.
Oh, that's right. She's got to get ready for her performance.
Her performance. Oh no, the football player's back.
Oh no, not Wendell.
And Wendell back is back. And Anthony says, "How dare you interrupt a family reunion?" And to prove it, he redoes Charlene's entire thing, word for word, in the same fast manner she did it. And I assume that this is your favorite scene in the entire thing. Yeah.
Not purely, and so for me, right? It's not purely that Anthony did this, because obviously this is something that was rehearsed, right? What I love especially is the reaction of Charlene's family as he goes through it, because they actually were doing really good, like kind of like crowd work, and they were reacting. They were kind of like that. I loved it so much. I was like, oh, this is perfect. Especially the brothers, like when he's like, "These are my brothers," and they're like, "Yeah." I was like, oh, it's so cute.
It is. It was.
It was very cute.
So Wendell Mack leaves very comfortably because there's a lot of white people staring at him.
I mean, wouldn't you? But no, wouldn't me? I was like,
wouldn't I? I'm a gay white man in Baptist Georgia. Are you crazy? I mean, unless I'm helping Suzanne with her dress or her hair, my ass is leaving.
That's true, actually. Oh, Suzanne.
So they then go to the club.
I can't wait. We get to watch the show.
There's no show.
What do you mean there's no show?
Galen stole her money.
No, are you serious?
Yes, I'm serious. Galen stole her money, so she starts having a very little sob story, and she tells her daddy it was $2,000, and he's very upset because that's a lot of money. He could have used
That is
that
a
for
lot of
new
money.
shoes.
Yeah, a lot of new shoes actually,
Oh wait!
or a lot of new.
Oh wait! Galen's here.
Wait, he came back?
He came
Why did he
back.
come back?
He came back to give her money back because he heard was it Pat Robertson, Oral Roberts? Which one did he hear?
Probably
Which of the televangelists
Wait.
it was?
Pat. I can't remember.
It was one of them was telling him in his mind that he needs to go back and give her the money that he did wrong. She says the money's not all there.
I thought this part was cute. I was like, oh, that's great, actually.
Yeah.
Because I mean, technically, if we're gonna be for real, like, come on now, let's not make this guy so perfect.
Charlene finally tells him to get out. So she finally has a backbone.
She did it. I'm proud of her. I knew it's hard, right? It's hard doing that kind of stuff.
It is. And then the owner opens the bar for them for just that evening, and Charlene sings a song, and we're done with the episode.
So I have a thing that I wrote down. So this is specifically for you.
I think for me.
Well, no, I have a thing. So, so would you give Charlene a Shantae you stay or a sashay away based on that lip sync?
Charlie Frazier. Sachet away. It was so bad.
I wrote it down too. I was like, he's gonna say sashay away. I actually wrote down in my notes.
What did you think? What did you think?
I thought the same thing. I was like, so I thought the same thing, but I also thought like this is clearly a woman who does not lip sync very much, for stuff. But no, like I was like, you could have probably put a little bit more emotion into it, a little bit.
I like look to see if she's known for doing like she's I believe she's won a Tony, but it was for a play. So I don't think she's ever done musicals or was that even her voice singing?
It sounded kind of like her voice.
It did.
I mean, a little bit.
Yeah.
So I mean, it was I couldn't help it. The whole time I was watching, I was like, I'm gonna have to ask this question because I felt compelled in asking it.
Well, did you find yourself a Miss Georgia World?
Of course, my Miss Georgia World this week is Miss Charlene Frazier in her Loretta Lynn / Barbara Mandrell / Dolly Parton little tribute outfit at the very end of the episode.
Well, good for you.
Yeah. How about you? What about you for Miss Georgia World?
So if you look back at Charlene's brothers,
okay,
there is one that is wearing the
Poplar Bluffs shirt?
Mules shirt. Yes.
I thought that was amazing.
I was like, that right there. That's my Miss Georgia World. That right there.
That's that would be my runner-up technically. I was like, because I saw it from a distance, and I was like, when it finally got up close, I was like, this is perfect. Yeah.
So, Maim, did you like the episode?
I'm gonna say I'm like a 50-50 on this one, right?
Yeah.
Because like it wasn't a terrible episode,
Nope.
but I don't know. I think because I get tired of this whole like Charlene shouldn't trust anybody. Oh no, Charlene got bilked by somebody, as Julia said, bilking. I was like, Julia uses that, and then it's like, but like this is like the last time that happened on another episode where it's like, well, technically, Charlene should keep trusting people because this person had like a change of heart. I'm like, you guys are contradicting the message that you're trying to put out there. Yep. This is why Charlene has trust issues. It's because everything that's supposed to teach her about who to trust, it then comes back and it gives her this conflicting message.
Yep. Yep.
That's my 50-50.
Oh.
But I love the family part of it. Like I like that part. I like the little kid is like, hi. Like that's just adorable. I was actually looking forward to that when he did that because I remembered as he started going through everybody, I was like, oh my gosh, this is where that little kid does that weird hi. I thought it was adorable.
So I like Anthony in this episode.
Yes.
And I like Suzanne in this episode. I struggle with, well, Maryjo's not even really there. She's got a few one-liners, but she's not really there. I struggle with Julia being Julia a little bit in this episode. And I struggle with Charlene being so inept. Like she... This is not... She's supposed to be a little silly, a little stupid, but not like... This is just dumb.
Well, so...
Why is she not in a Britney Spears conservatorship?
This is the thing, right?
Uh-huh.
And I think it does start to get better in the second season, which is you put these people in these very specific types of situations for the sake of it being a situational comedy.
Yeah.
But then it gets super meta because they start commenting on it as if they're looking at it from a reality perspective, like Julia's rant. I was like sitting there listening to her. I'm like, this doesn't normally happen. Like, this isn't how life normally is for any person. Like, you're having this weird rant, and I'm like, it's only happening because of the world you're in. So it was almost like Julia, like, breaking this weird fourth wall.
Yeah.
of like, isn't this crazy, everybody? Like, what is happening here that these kind of crazy things keep happening? I'm like, you're in a situational comedy. That's kind of how it works.
So, Maim, I
Yes.
think we've talked about this episode enough.
I think so too, considering, I mean, the content of it.
Well, tell our dear listeners where they can find you and what you're up to.
Dear listeners.
My way.
Oh my God. So you can follow me on Instagram at auntie.maim, MAIM, like I'm gonna kill you. You can follow me on Facebook at I'm your Auntie Maim, all one word. And if you're down here in South Florida anytime soon, Thursday nights in South Beach, I'm hosting Colossal Karaoke at Kill Your Idol. And on the weekend, sometimes you can catch me at Villain Theater in Miami.
What, are you not doing the stand-up thing anymore at the pub?
Maybe, but maybe not.
Okay.
So like the stand-up thing might still be going on, but they're toying around with the dates, so I might end up being just the producer of the show because they're talking about it going to Thursdays, which will be the night that I'm hosting karaoke. So if I have to like juggle between should I go to South Beach or should I go to Wilton? I'm gonna go to South Beach, right? So that's all it is. But the show itself is still supposed to be going on according to the people.
Okay. Tell them to move it to Wednesday.
Oh, that would be beautiful. But I don't know why they like Thursday so much. But you know, whatever. They're gonna see. They're doing like a switcheroo. So the show. So they had one on Thursdays. It's like the third Thursdays. We're the first Saturdays.
Uh-huh.
So now they're inverting it to see like how the crowds are different for that other one on Saturday versus us on a Thursday.
Okay.
So
I gotcha.
Yeah. So yeah.
Well,
Switcheroo.
I am the Divine Miss Mims. You can find me at Divine. You can find me at Divine Miss Mims on Twitter. I'm also on Instagram and Facebook, but don't really do that much on there. If you do find me on Twitter, please add me as a friend. Follow me. I only have a few thoughts that I follow, so you may see some half-naked men. It'll be okay. They're hot. Let's see here. That's pretty much it. You can follow us at Mims and Maim on the Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. We also have a Patreon that still has zero Zero.
Come on, y'all. Give us some money to do this thing.
Yes. Yeah, that's really it.
Or not.
Yeah, like, girl, it's my voice is starting to crack. I've been talking too long. That tirade that I'm going to take out of this episode, it's...
You had a moment.
I did,
You had a moment.
And nobody's going to know what it is. Nobody's going to know.
No. Because Lord knows, under the wrong circumstance, they're gonna put you on a rail and send you back out of town next time you go home. So
that's exactly right. That's exactly right. Burley tobacco. Anyway,
pitchforks, and JB's footlongs ready to attack.
Girl, JB's was offering like $500 starting bonus. $9 an hour, guaranteed to like $14 an hour after like 6 months of employment.
I mean, come on. I mean, because because people don't want to work for nothing.
I know. I know.
If you think about, like, especially if you think about what you have to do there, it is hot. Especially in the summer, and the late summer is hot. You're surrounded by all this cooking stuff. It's not like, I can't even imagine.
About the Burger King, I don't remember where it was. I think it was in like Arizona. I could be wrong with that. Did you hear about this? No. So one night, they changed the sign. You know, the little billboard that's got the little letters that you can change up underneath? It said, store closed, we all quit, we apologize for the inconvenience. Apparently, the managers had let the air conditioner stay off in the kitchen. It was getting to be over 100 degrees back there. The store supervisor was going to the hospital because of dehydration. Yes. And just they all walked out. Every employee walked out.
What?
Yeah.
I don't understand. I mean, I at one point worked at Quiznos, and
dear
in my
listeners,
head,
for those of you that don't know, a Quiznos is a sub-store that had the best broccoli and cheese soup. But they're few and far between. I blame the flatbreads. Anytime you bring a flatbread to a menu, it ruins it. You hear that, Panera?
It does.
Go on.
But yeah, like the thing is that there's so much that you probably should be taking care of, and it's like this. It's just bare minimum. It's just bare minimum. And this is a thing we could probably go on for another hour about, which we're not, but. Honestly, if you are a person who has a small business and your workers are working very hard, you should take care of them.
So that's absolutely true. Going back to Quiznos, I remember the night that Mary Kmart, dear sweet drag queen friend of mine, friend's a loose term, Mary Kmart, I kid Mary, if you listen to this, I kid. Mary Kmart came to Flex. She was all happy because the Quiznos she went to, the broccoli cheddar soup had dipped below food safety critical for like 5 minutes, which means you can't sell that shit anymore. It's still good. It's still okay to eat. Like if you were at home and you were cooking it, like 5 minutes ain't gonna do anything. But again, it is against the rules. You cannot do that. It was like 10 bags of the shit. She put in a crock pot and freezer, whatever, and just kept it and like had that damn soup forever.
That stuff was so good. Let me tell you.
It was.
I used to have some good times. My gosh, like how many orders I got wrong. I'm like, oh no, thought you wanted the soup.
And do you remember when Chick-fil-A used to not be filled with hate?
Girl, I remember when Chick-fil-A was just this weird place in the mall.
No, I know.
I was just thinking that the other day. Like I was driving by the Chick-fil-A, one of the Chick-fil-A's. There was like 20 cars in line, and I was sitting there like, I remember this was just a weird little restaurant inside of our local southern malls.
Yes.
And like, that's it. Like, when did it become this? And the thing is like, I don't want to say I've had my fair share of fried chicken, but I have. And I don't quite understand what's justifying now this sort of like fever pitch of I gotta have Chick-fil-A. I what are you talking about?
I have a controversial yet brave opinion. Zaxby's is better.
Yes. Yes. Zaxby's is better. Popeyes is better. Technically, like, I mean, let's just be honest. I mean, it's just, it doesn't make any sense. It literally is like that's how you know that the quote unquote American culture wars has turned into something new, right? Because
I've got another question for you.
There are people.
Speaking of fried chicken, does Hardee's still have fried chicken?
Girl, how would I know? There's no Hardee's down here. There's no Hardee's. I haven't had Hardee's in forever. There's no Hardee's. No.
What fast food do you have there? No Bojangles, no Hardee's.
We got Checkers. We have Miami Grill, which is like a local
I know what Miami Grill is.
Obviously. Yeah. The Miami Grill's sister, Miami Subs. There is KFC, Sonic, Taco Bell, Arby's, Wendy's, Burger King, but we don't have Zaxby's. We don't have Hardee's. We don't have Bojangles. So I mean,
one more question on the whole fast food thing.
Oh, we got Churches also. I forgot about Churches.
That tiny chicken. the tiniest chickens. What size this? I can have to use my pinkies to hold it up.
Can I have some fried quail, please? Fried quail.
So I've got a question for you. Then I'll let you go. Have you ever had a Del Taco?
No, I haven't. I've heard of it, but
my God! Next time you go out west, because they're west of the Mississippi. I'm gazing out. They have. Do you like fish tacos?
Yes.
They have the best fish taco. I kid you not. It is just a fish stick in 2 tacos with some mayonnaise on it.
Dear listeners, one thing you don't know about me is that I love fish sticks.
Who does?
Miss Mims knows that about Miss Mims knows that about me.
Who doesn't?
There's got to be somebody. Oh, now I want fish sticks. Oh, I'm gonna have to get fish sticks tonight now.
Do it.
Dang you! And there's dang it.
Does your husband like fish sticks?
I don't know. You know he's fancy. I'd have to put some like aioli or something on top of it. Have to take off the breading a little bit and be like, these are naked fish sticks.
Oh God! So I went to a crab boil the other week.
Oh, fancy!
And like they brought out cocktail sauce. It was homemade cocktail sauce.
Okay.
And I was like, then they brought out tartar sauce, and I was like, "Is it homemade?" And she's like, the person hosted was like, "No, it's from a jar. Why would you think it's homemade?" I was like, "Shit." I thought because the cocktail sauce, I was trying to give her props. Because you know what's easier to make the cocktail sauce? It's tartar sauce. Because it's just...
Tartar sauce is
so easy to make. Oh, God. And on that note, girl, I will talk to you next week.
Tartar sauce, Handy. Tartar
sauce. Bye.
Bye.